everyone and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and today we're going to be opening up the Beading School Academy bi-monthly subscription box that just arrived. And this one looks to be in a very juicy color palette called La Dolce Vita. Before we get into it, I want to let you know that the link to this subscription is located right down below the video. In the description section, it'll take you right to the page that will talk all about the different perks of signing up for Beading School Academy, which definitely go way on and beyond just the contents that you see here. They also have a couple different choices in terms of the subscription size, and I'll be sharing with you the Fuchsia package, which is the largest version of their subscription. They also offer one called Turquoise, and in that tier you'll get less materials, but there is overlap in the box contents, and you also get some of those same perks beyond the materials. Things like access to very special beading patterns and tutorials that are meant to go directly with these contents, access to regular online group events where you can chat with other subscribers of Beading School Academy, get ideas, share your projects and things like that. Tons of other educational materials to help you expand your knowledge of beading, and articles and inspiration behind each of these lovely monthly themes. So those are just some of the perks that you get along with this, which certainly add a lot of value above and beyond the materials that you'll see today. This box is one that I highly recommend for people who love off-loom bead weaving in particular, or occasionally bead embroidery, because you're usually going to get an assortment of Preciosa crystals and pearls, check glass beads in both one-hole and multi-hole varieties, coordinating metal and crystal components, focal items, but everything of very high quality that you'll probably just want to have a little bit of bead weaving knowledge, background for, or experience, such as just simple things like knowing the basics of how to bezel something with delicas and seed beads. But beyond that, they provide you with lots of creative inspiration and direction on how to use these materials. So let's go ahead and open up this package. And there's a sneak peek. I'm seeing some lovely shades of rose gold in our metallics, some lighter sage green and peach, and even some antique gold. But let's go ahead and get into this package. We've got tons of beautiful items to look at as usual. So I'll just get a little bit more organized and we'll take a look at everything up close. Well, we are in for a treat with this color palette today. I'm loving it as I'm starting to look at everything out together, and you'll see what I mean, I think. But we'll start out by looking at the size 11.0 Miyuki Delica beads. We typically get a selection of some of these in our Beading School Academy boxes because, of course, their versatility and very helpful use in bezeling in particular, with that consistent cylindrical shape. And we've got three different varieties here. On the top, we have the opaque light mint, which is a stunning contrast to some of these peachy tones and earthy metallics. And our next two are the one on the left, the galvanized matte champagne in that sort of antique toned down brownish gold, and our galvanized dark coral in that more reflective metallic on the right. As far as our round seed beads, we have some size 11.0, and these are all Miyuki, by the way. This is a variety called Crystal Lemon Rainbow. So we have this very pale light yellow, and you see that slight rainbow of colors that shows up in certain areas of that coating. Also included are three packages of the size 15.0 smaller Miyuki rounds. On top is the variety called Matte Opaque Blush in that light peach tone. Next is this more neutral matte Duracoat Galvanized Silver. And third in this size is the Duracoat Galvanized Dark Coral, which we also saw pop up in those Delica beads. That's just a stunning color right there that is similar to a rose gold, but more pigmented. Also in the seed bead selection, we have a bag containing these 12mm long Miyuki twisted bugle beads, and this is the matte opaque blush. So also similar to what we saw in those 15Os that are a gorgeous pale peach. And I just have to bring this in next. So we're gonna look at our 27mm round glass cab in Juicy Peach. Isn't that a stunner? It caught my eye immediately, not only on the picture that was on the box, but of course, just seeing that in person with that reflective crystal quality and those flashes of violet, blue, and aqua that you get in addition to that apricot and orange color. So this, of course, is one of our main focal components for our package. There's the back in great shape, and one of those items that I'm sure they've cooked up something for pattern-wise. I've gone ahead and taken some of these items out of their bags, but they are all packaged up safe and sound, typically in their own dividers inside each of those little baggies. But here I have the two 12mm cushion cut glass cabs in Starshine, which is another stunning combination of the opaque white that sort of turns into a golden yellow in the center of those cabs. And they also have that stunning vibrant shine that you see hints of when you look at these at a certain angle. Our next crystal cab is in this 14mm size Lotus Square, and the variety is called Paradise Shine. You see that etched lotus shape that shows up at the base of this cabochon, surrounded by all that stunning, beautifully cut faceted crystal, giving us lots of that warm golden tone, but also some of those flashes of blue and purple, just like our other crystals so far. We also have a 14mm Preciosa Rivoli in the color called Light Peach, which is so reflective and sparkly. There you can see the overall shape of this crystal Rivoli, just another high quality crystal stone that will be so fun to incorporate and bezel around. We have lots more beads and crystals to look at, but let me start showing you some of the metallic components and findings as well, starting with our rose gold colored 10x16mm earring hooks that you can see on top with that sort of vine-like shape. And then the 10x24mm long elegant ear wires in antique copper. So two suggested tones of metal to go along with this palette, both of which would look beautiful. Here's another pair of earring findings. These are the 14x16mm rounds with cubic zirconia that are inset into the rose gold tone. These just open right up and clip into a pierced ear and have, of course, that loop that is at the bottom where you can attach these to your beadwork. With metal components like this, adding those additional touches of special detail to your pieces and taking them to the next level. We also have two very special clasp Garten brand clasps included, which are certainly more of a luxurious brand of clasp and metallic components. This first one that we see is called the Crystal Eye Fishhook Clasp in Copper, with that crystal detail that you see, and this is one that you would just pinch open on that little lever at the bottom right and slide apart. And then check out this box clasp that we see next, also by Clasp Garden in the tone of bright copper, a 12x14mm size with those stunning crystal details, the smaller crystal rounds that are encrusting the edges of the shape, and then that larger crystal that is adorning the center, and that is one of those pinch apart clasps as well. And along similar lines is a pair of 6mm Preciosa crystal connectors. These are in rose gold settings with the light peach crystals, which are completely transparent. Would be beautiful incorporated in earrings with light passing through those and sparkle with those glimmering facets. But returning to our beads, here's a bag containing the 8mm Preciosa round pearls in the peach color. So these are going to be some of our larger one-hole beads for this month's selection of items. These Preciosa pearls and all the Preciosa, of course, being of great quality to use, especially in bead weaving projects, and especially when you're using some of these beautiful components by Clasp Garden and other crystals. Next for rounds, we have the 3mm in Alabaster Opaque Beige Picasso. So here's some of that antique golden tone that is brought into this palette through some of this particular combination with the opaque alabaster glass that's at the base, but that alabaster Picasso just adding in that layer of a golden dusted look, which adds a slight variety from bead to bead. Looking at our fire polish faceted rounds next, we have two sizes, the 3 and 4mm in the color called Chalk White Mint Luster. These go so well with those Miyuki Delicas down below in that minty green. And I will pour some of this 4mm size in my hand so we can look at these outside of the bag. And here they are in that pale silvery light minty green, this being the slightly larger size that we have, and another very versatile item, which you find a lot in these Beading School Academy boxes, just being across different color palettes. Every time we get one of these Academy boxes, it's in a brand new theme and color palette, which makes it very exciting and something to look forward to every 2 months to work with. This one definitely being something new and different than we have received before. But if you are also into creating things on your own, it's so inspiring because they include so many things that you can pull together that are already incorporated in a specific palette and provide you with a range of sizes and things to pull from, not just in one-hole beads, but also in multi-hole shapes, which we'll look at too. Up next for our fire polish, these are our other two bags containing on the left the True 2 2mm size pale bronze gold variety. And then we have the 3mm size in the gold metallic iris, providing us with two more of this more antique golden tone, and the one on the right just having a little bit of variety there, including some areas that look a little bit more brassy and some that look a little bit more copper-like in that very subtle mix. Beading School gets their hands on some of the best products, especially when it comes to Preciosa, because they have a pretty close partnership with them. So not only can you find a lot of these items showing up in their bi-monthly subscription boxes, but it's a lot of fun to check out their online store as well, because they've got so many things there over and above what you see in the subscription packages. This is just a taste of what they have to offer. With our next two bags containing some of the Preciosa bicone beads, the 3mm size on the left in Crystal Honey, and our stunning AB 2x Chrysolite on the right in the 4mm size. Here's that Chrysolite variety, which has the double AB coating, giving these even more shimmer and iridescence on top of that light spring green color, which blends beautifully with these items, especially because they bring in a little bit of those warmer golden tones that blend wonderfully with the tones of golden peach that we have in this palette also. And here are those smaller crystal honey bicones with their very precise cuts and sparkle, this having that more pale neutral tone of light champagne. And oh my goodness, I have not seen these before, so I'm really excited to see these pop up. These are the 6mm 2-hole table cut tile beads in opaque pale jade bronze Picasso. Combining table cut beads and the tiles, these are fantastic. I'm loving these so much, with that sort of robin's egg blue that you see popping against the more neutral but shimmery bronzy metallic luster around the sides, and the fact that these are 2-hole beads in that 6mm size is just awesome. So we have the 2 holes that run parallel through those tiles, and this is the first in several of the multi-hole beads we have this month. Our next variety being the Miyuki half tielas in Crystal Lemon Rainbow. These are also ones I have not seen before in this combination, and it looks like they match those size 11 round seed beads that we saw earlier with those pops of gold, and also along with some of that brighter, vibrant yellow that you see in some areas. You have part of these beads that have that opaque metallic finish, and then the other part that is a completely crystal clear or transparent glass, which gives you a very vibrant and shimmery mix. Next are the white apricot ginkgo beads. These are perfect for this palette, I think, and they have a gorgeous reflective shine on the surface. They get a little bit lighter in their color appearance on the sides where the holes are located, and these are, of course, another 2-hole variety of check glass beads in this ginkgo leaf shape. And we also received the Super Duo 2-hole beads in the white apricot variety, just like in the ginkgos. Here are these. So we've got lots of 2-hole shapes to work with this month with one more package to look at. And you can see how you have some areas that are darker and some that are lighter, just like the ginkgo beads, but all bringing in that very warm caramelly tan with that orangey undertone. So here's that final bag of 2-hole beads containing the 2-hole cabochons in jet metallic dark violet. Those are stunning as well in this deeper, darker shade. It's kind of like a very dark reddish copper with a hint of brown at the same time, and the color shifts ever so slightly as you move them. And these, of course, have the domed or rounded top and 2 holes running through the flatter base in this cabochon shape. I really like that suggestion of that deeper, dark reddish copper, and we also have a hint of that suggestion here in our next bag, which contains the 6x8mm rectangular glass cabochons in Siam. Very generous quantity of these already in that golden colored setting with the 2 holes running underneath these rectangular crystals in that stunning maroon color, which is similar to those cabs that we just took a look at. And we also have these that have come in the juicy peach variety that we'll take a look at next. And here they are. So handy when they come already in those settings, ready to go with the holes there so you can incorporate them into projects and not have to worry about sourcing specific settings for those. And also providing for a generous surface area similar to using these as a beaded bead, but getting the effect of that sparkly crystal. This one in another coordinating shade of peach. We also have 2 other varieties of sew-on Preciosa crystal rhinestones. The one on the left in that smaller size are called jonquil in the gold-colored settings, and then on the right we have the 6mm size in crystal AB with the gold setting. Here's the crystal AB variety. We have that rainbow of colors, and they're very shiny and reflective, and already have that setting there crisscrossing those areas back there ready for you to sew into your project. And the same goes for these little tiny 2.8mm jonquil crystals. I think this might be the smallest sew-on crystal variety that I've seen yet in person. They are so tiny, but still have that setting that goes behind the crystal, allowing you to add those to your work. And just look how reflective those are. We have a few more bags of items to take a look at. Next is the set of 2 9x15mm Preciosa crystal drop pendants in honey. Two more stunners that are perfectly cut and faceted with that very pale gold color, the hole running through the top, and another option I think would be so beautiful in a pair of earrings. Our next bag was containing this set of 6 7mm Preciosa Chiton flat back crystals and amethyst AB. And we had something just like this in the last box, which I incorporated in the pageant necklace tutorial. There's a look at the back of one of those. And they have that lower profile, which makes them great for bezeling into a project. Also for bead embroidery with that back that is already flat and ready to incorporate onto a piece of fabric. And then we have the 12 by 17mm lacy teardrop bead in alabaster opaque beige Picasso. So here we go. You could use this maybe in a pendant component as a bottom drop piece with that scalloped design around the edges. The hole runs up and down the length of this particular bead shape. And this is the same color variety as those small 3mm round druck beads that we saw with that alabaster and golden combination. And then a look at our final bag, which contains these 6 by 9mm pressed glass drops in alabaster opaque beige Picasso as well. Here we go in yet a different drop shape, these being more of a smooth, rounded variety, also with the hole that's drilled at the top and lots of that golden shimmer. So that wraps it up for the January-February Beading School Academy bi-monthly subscription box in La Dolce Vita. I really can't say enough great things about this subscription, especially because of all the additional perks and educational factors that they've added into the actual subscription package materials, which are all such high quality ones that if you're a bead weaver, these are the types of things that you want to work with or are probably most excited to work with as far as the different brands and things here. And in addition to that, it's so well thought out and planned in advance, the materials to go along with the theme, but also to go into specific products so you're actually getting helpful ideas and suggestions all ready to go for how you can incorporate these items into finished pieces. So it's kind of like wrapping up a subscription package and several beading kits, live beading events, training and education all into one thing. So again, all the information though is listed on their website, which I have linked down below. I highly recommend you going there and reading through everything that they have to offer along with these packages. These items are shipped directly from Europe. You're getting the best of the best. And while you're going through the checkout process, no matter where in the world you're located, they will ship to your location and your currency will convert directly through their website checkout process. Well, I'm in love with this palette. I think it transcends the seasons. And it offers so many varieties that complement with each other. Like I always say, when I have everything laid out, I'm ready to dive right in and start creating something. So hopefully I'll have something to share with you in the near future and possibly in a future tutorial. But of course, that's what I think. I'd love to hear your thoughts right down below, and I'm sure they would as well. So feel free to leave a comment down there. Also, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel while you're here because I'd love to have you back. And feel free to share this video wherever you like. That's all I have for now, but I will see you again soon. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.